I believe the video speaks for itself and makes a very compelling argument for the greatness of this program, and it shows us, gives us great examples of how it touches so many young lives and how it can make such a great difference in those lives, and the lives of their family and the lives of this country. It is now my privilege to introduce Suzanne Gretch. She's one of our very own specialists. Suzanne has taught jobs for Washington's graduates for the last 2 years at the NewTech Skills Center in Spokane. Prior to her current role, she spent 8 years as a middle and high school teacher. Through Jobs for Washington's graduates, she has developed a strong passion for college and career education. She focuses on helping her students find their passion and niche in the world and inspires them to responsibly pursue education. Her ambition is to lead students to successful, rewarding, and fulfilling careers. This summer, Suzanne was recognized by Jobs for America's graduates as an outstanding specialist. Please welcome Suzanne Gretch.
Thank you. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to be up here and see this incredible skyline. It's a privilege to be here today to speak to everybody about our program. It is a great honor to be part of Jobs for Washington's graduates. Does this thing turn on? Nope. Okay. And carry out our mission to enable that every young person in Washington has the right to graduate from high school, and they are equipped to enter the workforce and become a self-sufficient adult. One thing I want to point out to everyone, and I see this because I'm a specialist, everyone in this room stepped off the elevator and was encountered by a student dressed very well for where we are at, kindly asked their name, respectfully showed you where the bathrooms were, and guided you into this room. Now, those are the basic skills that we're talking about in this video and what we teach in our classroom. To dress for the job that you want, to be able to give information correctly and communicate effectively with adults. And those are skills that we teach our students in our classroom, and to just see it so early in the school year transferred into the real world, into the work world, because these students were given a job this morning, is fantastic. So good job, students. And the second thing I wanted to speak to quickly was just what a great honor it is to be a specialist here in the state of Washington, and to really tell the other specialists here that it's a great privilege to work with you and collaborate with you for the last couple of years. What everyone should know about a specialist is this is not a 7:30 to 3:30 job. As a teacher and a specialist, our phones are on at 6 a.m. till 10 o'clock at night. We work through Christmas break, we work through spring break, we work through the summer to help our students become employed. That is their goal. So we get phone calls that say, oh, I don't know how to fill out this question on the job application, or this is new, or I lost my resume, can you email it to me? And all of that compounds to the final phone call, or the moment they walk into our classroom and say, I got the job. That is huge for us. So I was also joking with another specialist before we started today that we are the people who, when our JWG students come into our offices or our classrooms, and we ask them, so what do you think you want to do? And they say to us, I'm going to be the next rap star or the next rock star. We insist on a plan B. That is our job. So that is what we do. But more importantly, the other thing that we do with our students is we are another adult. We are a shoulder to lean on. It doesn't always have to be academics or employability skills. How's your day going? Do you need to vent? What can I help you with? Talk to me, connect with me. So you know that I am always there to help you. So when it comes to the academic stuff and it comes to the employability skills, they always come to us, and we can always find a way to get them to where they want to be. So specialists, from one specialist to another, and everyone in here, thank a specialist on your way out. Thank you for everything you do. So. hired as a specialist, I did my research on the program, and I knew I'd be working with at-risk students and students who had previously dropped out from high school. So coming from a traditional high school and a traditional high school teacher, I came into this job with the mindset at the very, very beginning 2 years ago that these students lacked the motivation to succeed academically. And I was very, very wrong about that. My students want to do well in school. They really, really do. However, some of their life circumstances inhibit that many times. It's very hard for them. I had a student this last year whose family faced eviction half a dozen times in 1 year. Many of my students' parents are in jail. Lots of them couch surf at their friend's house in hopes that their parents will invite them to join the family. And then other students are starting their own families. We have many, many young parents in our programs. And finally, the other thing that is coming with our hard economic times is I'm seeing many students are hungry, and they rely on our soup kitchens in Spokane to feed them dinner. And lots of times they don't have transportation, so I spend after school hours helping them find which bus route will get them to the right soup kitchen so they can get dinner that day. So those are the types of situations that we work with right now. I also work with students who are recovering from drug abuse, either their own or family members. And these young people come to us because we know that they can help them. So the exact things that we do. Number one, we help them get to high school graduation through extra academic attention from specialists and credit recovery programs. The second thing we do, and this really is a motivator, is we provide pathways to employment. We introduce them to certification programs. For example, in Spokane, we do CPR and first aid. We help them get their food handler permits. We do work keys certification. And the last thing that we do is we help them get an ID. And for those of you who haven't been down to the DMV lately, an ID in Washington State is now $45. And that may as well be $1 million for some of our students. And so my first field trip this year was to the DMV. And I woke up that morning going, oh man, I gotta go to DMV. And, but the kids were very, very excited. That ID to them is a piece of gold. And as a result of going to the DMV, I now have 5 students that I was able to place into paid internships because they needed that one piece, that ID, so they could get an actual paycheck. So that's what our JAG funds do. They help us break down the barriers that will help the students gain employment sooner. The next thing we do is we teach the employability skills that are needed in the workplace. This includes problem solving and effective communication. Many students do not know how to talk to their teachers, they do not know how to talk to their coworkers, and they do not know how to talk to their employers about their ideas and their needs. And this is a real obstacle. We live in a digital age. Many students, they just like to text. And so that human-to-human interaction is something that they are lacking. And so we teach that human connection in our classroom because some of them would rather quit school or quit their jobs than actually have to sit down and have those conversations with an adult. So we teach those skills. Finally, we are there for them for 12 months after they graduate from high school. We make sure that they're applying themselves in productive ways in our society, whether this be working in an apprenticeship at a skilled trade, enrolled in a technical school, a 2-year community college, or a 4-year college. This also includes if they just are interested in working for a year. We do that too, but we also very much encourage, okay, so you've been working for a while, let's talk about getting some extra training. In this follow-up program that we have, I have helped my students register for their college classes. I've helped them apply for financial aid. I've helped them navigate hard work situations like the ones I just previously described. and I help them access ongoing financial education to help them handle the money that they begin earning. Last year, my class decided that our motto would be ambition, commitment, and success. They had the ambition to be employed, even in Spokane's depressed economy that had a 42% teen unemployment rate. So ages 16 to 21, the unemployment rate was 42% last year. As a class, they turned in 287 job applications. And by the end of the school year, we had 80% of our students were employed. They had their first taste of monetary success. And that was huge for them. I saw their self-esteem grow, and I saw their sense of hope for the future grow. And as they gain that monetary success, they want more. And they started coming to me and asking me, well, Mrs. Gretch, how can I earn more money? And so I would, kind of get quiet, and I would look at them a little bit, and I would say to them, you want to know the real secret? Do you want to know the secret to earning more money? And they would kind of lean in like I was about to tell them the ultimate get rich quick scheme, just like, I can really tell you the secret. Graduate from high school and go to college. That's the secret. And they would laugh and they would kind of roll their eyes, but that's what it is. Having that job and that monetary success was such an incredible motivator for my students that those 80% that were employed are still currently now employed, and they are all pursuing some sort of post-secondary education, whether it be technical training, 2-year college, or 4-year college, all of them. One of those students is a young man by the name of Nathan Simpson. I invited him here to come with me today, but he is currently working full-time and going to school full-time and just got his own apartment, so he couldn't take a day off. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about him anyway. And actually, if you look up on the screen, he is on the far left holding the chain there. He is a welder right now, so I'm going to share my story about Nathan here. I met Nathan when he was 18. He had previously dropped out of high school, and just like many families in the last 4 to 5 years, Nathan's family has struggled incredibly with economic hardship. This affected his school attendance. He was showing up to his regular high school less than half of the time. And when he did attend, he struggled academically and socially. He was feeling hopeless and discouraged, and at the end of his sophomore year, he dropped out of school. He fell into the wrong crowd, and by the time he re-enrolled in school, he had a criminal record. When I first started working with Nathan, he told me, I really want a job because I know I'm a hard worker, and it will help me feel like I belong somewhere, and I'm doing something good for myself. So Nathan came to all of my classes. He worked diligently on his skills. He also enrolled in our welding technology program at the NewTech Skills Center in Spokane, and he had new goals for his life. His goal was that he was going to gain an apprenticeship as a journeyman welder and go on to become a welder from there. At the time, JWG Spokane had created a partnership with Spokane Workforce Development, and the goal was to place my students into paid internships. So I contacted local businesses that hire welders, and the one that was interested in working with me was Western States Steel, and they were willing to take Nathan on and employ him. After a few months, I went to do Nathan's employability skills review, and he was thriving. He was the model worker, and he was outperforming all the employees who were 10 years older than him and who had been working for Western States Steel for a lot longer than him. He was punctual, he was a good listener, he followed directions, and he had a positive attitude. So these are the skills that I teach in my classroom and that every specialist in here teaches in their classroom, and Nathan had successfully transferred them to the real world of work. In June of this last year, Western States Steel hired Nathan on at $10 an hour for 30 hours a week. He then, smartly, and with the advice from his career specialist, used his earnings to pay for a 6-week professional welding certification course. He now makes $15 an hour and works 40 hours a week. So that being said, we have all heard at one time or another that it takes a village. And that is so true for Jobs for Washington's Graduates program. Specialists work to build relationships with our area employers and with our workforce development offices. We also work with colleges and partners and other partners with our mission to help create a better future for our students. In Spokane, I have a standing partnership with Bank of America. They provide a series of financial education courses that help students open their first bank account. We also invite local business people to talk to our students about what they can expect from what they expect from teenage employees. If you work or own a business and would like to help our students, please reach out to a program in your area. Be a guest speaker. Invite the class to tour your business. Provide job shadow opportunities to JWG students. Because I can tell you firsthand that these experiences are extremely valuable to students because it opens their eyes to the world of opportunity available to them. So in closing, if Nathan and other students from this last year's class did not have Jobs for Washington's Graduates, they would probably be unemployed and likely not enrolled in additional schooling. But more than anything, they would not have hope. My students understand that with consistent hard work, clear goals, and confidence in the skills that they develop and possess in our classrooms, a strong future is possible for them. Young people who face similar adversity as my students haven't had the privilege to participate in JWG may not know that. So there's a huge need for JWG in our communities, and thank you so much for supporting us. And we are striving to get our students to graduation, and